A few years ago, I started the tradition of allowing January to be a slower, more intentional month. As an artist, the hustle of the holiday season was always followed by hitting a wall. I realized I needed to allow myself to ease back into my busier workdays over the course of a few weeks. January started to become about slower days and moving my body intentionally. The first week or two are about cleaning every corner and combing through every drawer and cabinet of my home, getting rid of anything that no longer serves a purpose in my life. I do this in order to open up space for new things to come in. It became about tying up loose ends, slow and steady, intention and purpose. Problem is now I don't know how to fix that hole because it's bigger than like a picture hole. So here I come, Google. What are you doing? Are you laying on all my clothes? You're laying on all my clothes. I need to clean out my closet though. Good boy. You make a boy. Good boy. Oh. There are no particular rules per se. I just want my days to mimic how I think a new year should really begin. Even if resolutions are a thing that you do, real lasting change is about slow and steady. It's about consistency. It's making sure these new behaviors stick and not racing out of the gate at full speed only to lose interest or burn out in a few weeks. Slow and steady, one foot in front of the other. Waiting for that new growth to root down and take hold. Although there is a grayish cloud looming over the end of this month with the start of treatment, and I do feel the inner pressure to add a bit more hustle to prepare for the unknown side effects of what treatment may bring, I'm constantly reminding myself that I'm allowed to go slow. I'm allowed to take things at a pace that feels right to me and let go of the societal pressure to hustle. Give myself more time to map out the year ahead, giving myself space for a bit more spontaneity because, well, as we all know, life is meant to be lived and not just moving through a to-do list. I'll be honest, I had a really hard time getting to this video this week because I have just been so tired. I think because I started working again, my mind is kind of pulled in a lot of different directions right now. Whereas like for the month of December, I was just healing from surgery. And so I had a lot of extra time to just focus on my channel and putting out videos. I still have the goal of doing it once
a week, and I'm very committed to this channel. New Year's for me are just a little bit more about kind of easing into it. I just decided to take all pressure off of myself, just kind of get to this when I felt like I was ready to get to it. There was enough Plan With Me or New Year's resolution videos coming out on January 1st. I didn't think that there needed to be one more. I think that to create real change and lasting change and new behaviors and patterns in our life, for me, the slower approach works better because I am more consistent and I want to show up to it. If I'm almost like forcing myself to do something every single day, then I find that I burn out really quickly. I'm not as interested to keep going with something, or I just kind of fall back into old behaviors and patterns. Starting the year off pretty slow has just been a really great tradition that I have started. When you look around, especially where I live in the Pacific Northwest, I mean, there's no leaves on the trees. Everything is kind of dormant and docile, and it's kind of how I feel inside too. Just very much want to go into hibernation. At the end of the day, we are all animals, and we kind of need to be a little bit easier on ourselves and allow ourselves just to give ourselves a little bit more of a break. You know, even though the holidays, a lot of people aren't working a whole lot, we are still scheduled so much. When we get to the new year, we're all just exhausted. At least for the first 2 weeks, I think that just easing into it is really beneficial and something that works really well for me. And then I also feel more excited about revving it up as the year goes on. This year does look a lot different because I'll be starting treatment in February. So like I said earlier, I do feel a little sense of urgency that I need to get a lot of stuff done. So this is my first week being back to work, other than here and there making art pieces for a couple markets. This is like the first week that I am like, okay, it's Monday, I'm gonna go out to my shop and I'm gonna work. And yesterday I was able to work for about 5 hours and I didn't want to stop. I was on a roll and felt so good doing it. But today was a different story. I have been just exhausted all day today, not feeling super great. I wonder if maybe I caught something too, but I just feel really run down and tired. I didn't sleep very well last night. This also very well could be just how my rhythm is going to be for the foreseeable future. I might have a really good day of work and then the next day just need to take it easy. I was trying to work yesterday and most of today because Wednesday, tomorrow, I have an appointment with my oncologist late morning. So that's going to take up a fair chunk of time. And then it's going to be kind of hard to get into much of anything when I get home. And then Thursday, I'm getting back to watching my nieces once a week, which I'm really excited for. It's never really resonated with me that at the top of a new year, we just come out almost expected by society to be in accomplish mode. We have to start working on all of our goals. And to me, that just screams burnout. It screams inconsistency. For me, a couple of years ago, I decided that January was going to be slower and it was going to be an easy transition into ramping things up again. I did one market last January and I don't think I sold anything. So it's not really the most lucrative time for me post holiday season, which is really good for artists typically. And I also realized that I was just so burnt out and so tired, just couldn't get my rhythm back or my groove back. So I was just more deliberate with giving myself space and time to kind of regroup and recharge, and then I would ramp things up as we got into February. Last year was a little bit of an exception because I was undergoing a bunch of medical screenings this time last year. I was constantly being hit with all of these kind of signs that I needed to just slow down and take the beginning of the year really nice and easy. I've also been working with this new program called Notion. It's an organizational tool. What I really, really love about it is for somebody who's aesthetic like myself, you can get as creative as you want with it. I'm so visual that I can add images and map out things the way that I need them to be to make sense to the way that my brain works. Something that I'm really trying to work on this year is having more systems in place, my business and my life, and being more consistent in how I approach my day. I don't want to be totally rigid and have to stick to a schedule, because that's just not how my creativity works. I do have a loose schedule every day. I set it the night before, and I also have custom pieces and clients I work with that I do have to meet deadline for. I do like to have a little fluidity in my day so that I can make room for whatever is trying to come out of me at that time. Sometimes I'll have a plan to work on art, but then what I really want to do is work on a piece of furniture and vice versa. That's really important to me, but I also think that sometimes that kind of hinders my ability to get things done. I will always put my creative tasks over my admin tasks. Every week I am trying to be really consistent. I have to go to a coffee shop, go somewhere to work on admin. I like to use this time to really think about what I want the year to look like and how I want to feel, what I want to create. Think about what is really realistic as opposed to what I feel like I should be doing because the world is telling me to do it, or society. I don't make resolutions per se. I create like a vision and map it all out. And I guess you could say I do vision boards, but it's mostly just because I'm a very visual person and I have to see something all the time to really get it to sink in that is something that I want to create in my life. I do think that if you're somebody that makes resolutions and then you find that you burn out and you drop them 3 weeks into the new year, maybe starting off slower is for you too. Maybe cultivating a practice of just easing your way into the new year and then ramping up your goals as you go. Maybe that would serve you and what you want to create in your life as well. There are things that we all want to change about ourselves. I think approaching it from such an absolute point of view is often cause for us to give up on these goals. I try to just have fluidity in all of it. I will probably do a video on what my oncologist tells me tomorrow and let you know what my treatment plan is and when I'm starting. So yeah, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, give the thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye.